I really shouldn't be surprised. I suppose it's completely natural and a human emotion, if nothing else. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, I am overwhelmed with a feeling of accomplishment. You know, the boats give me, this boat, I don't think this boat is different than any others. Boats in general break, and this, we're living on it, been on it for a while, put thousands of miles under the keel. Every day something breaks. And I get into this routine where, you know what, if it's not a big deal, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm going to press on. But there are some things that break and it's really bad. Oh, you know what, I forgot to change this. Sorry about that. Let me see if I can do this now. There we go. That's better. Sorry about that. Oh, I also forgot to slow the camera down. I gotta slow it down. Anyway, yeah. So I got a million little things that need fixing, and I just need to get into them, and they're a pain in the butt, but I'll get to them later. You know, I got this one engine leak that I've got to deal with that, you know, every 24, 36 hours I got to add about a cup of coolant into the heat exchanger. And I know exactly where the leak is. It's all the way up under the settee on the fittings for the external heat exchanger for the non-functioning hydronic heater. The Chinese one that I bought worked great for a year and then it died. Since then I bought another Chinese heater and I just haven't put it in because we've had an abundant, we have so much sun here, we have an abundance of power. I heat the hot water with off the batteries. The lithium system is so strong and robust, it's great that way. But anyway, my big thing, I'm sure, as you've seen in the last few videos, should not surprise you at all, but has been this damn windlass. And I beat this windlass up pretty hard. I don't do what there are a lot of people that say, oh, you should drive ahead, and you know, you should never put a load on your windlass and all that. And I'm like, you know what? It's a windlass. It's designed to work. And it's a 1,000-watt motor, and if I'm only drawing, I think I'm usually drawing like 700, 800 until it bogs down, then it goes up to 1,000. But I'm like, I can, you know, I don't crank on it and let it go to a full stop or anything like that. But I do when got 100 feet of chain out. You know, I've been using the depth plus 50 method. So I'll lift the chain off the bottom and then I stop. And the weight of the chain, you know, provided it's not windy, the weight of the chain will draw the boat ahead, and then I lift up some more and then I draw ahead. I don't just go and rip the whole thing right out. But anyway, I have beat up this windlass really hard, and it's only failed me once before, and that's when, well, I guess it was last year, the right angle drive worm gear, or what Mir calls the gearbox, completely, you know, I knew it was going before it went because it was making all kinds of noise. And then when I took it apart, I mean, it wouldn't hardly ever move at all. So that had to be done. The thing that I didn't do correctly, because I didn't understand everything, and you know, you buy a used boat, you don't get any manuals or anything like that. You've got to learn things as you go. I had to go and I had figured that the gearbox just went. I didn't realize that it was fine, it went because of water intrusion. And I'm only speculating that because apparently when I bought a new gearbox, they told me that I bought the last one in December of 24, which would just be less than a year ago. And I mean, these things should last 10, 20 years. So something's wrong. So I did a lot of research. There's a whole bunch of videos saying you got to seal the outside, but that wasn't the problem. It's coming through the shaft. I thought it was a shaft seal. I've made videos. You guys have seen that. What I just wanted to tell you is I found the hole. There's a hole pre-drilled and even threaded And you would think that if it was threaded, you'd think they'd put a thread in there, you know? I mean, it's a big dollar windlass. I think this thing's $5,000 or $6,000 if you buy it new. I mean, I just spent $2,000 on parts for it. I mean, I didn't use the new motor. I just have that in reserve for later. But the gearbox was $750 last year, and I think it was $950 this year. I guess and they even wrote on the bill the tariffs. I had to pay the tariffs on it too. So, yay tariffs. It's funny how I thought China was going to pay all the tariffs. I didn't think that. My friends have said that. I've known all along that tariffs have just been a way of taxing us, the consumer. Anyway, okay, enough of that politics. So, I just wanted to share with you, I've got it on, it's working, it seems like it's going to be awesome. I plugged up that hole that was threaded. They just had a little plastic bung in it that was just held in place, and water had started getting underneath it, dripping down. And of course, it's salt water and mud and everything else from the bottom, and destroyed the gearbox. So I cleaned everything up. Actually, Crysalida cleaned everything up, and then I put a bunch of goop in there, and it's hardening as we speak now. Thing works wonderfully up and down. We've got a good 24 hours before we get to Marseille. Crysalida is insisting that it's Marcella. She's reading it in Spanish. I don't speak a word of French other than saying oui oui. But I believe it's Marseille. Let me know if I'm saying that wrong before I get there. But I am just, I can't explain this. But the feeling, I haven't been right since the windlass is not there. I've been there. I've been acting up. And sure, we were able to raise it by hand and do all that sort of stuff, and that's fine. But as I said a few times before, I really consider a windlass on a boat like this, crewed the way we have it, as a part of the safety gear. The reason why is that obviously not out here. We're in like 6,000 feet of water, I think. But when we get to shore, if the engine dies, if something goes wrong, I need to be able to drop that thing. And even if the power goes out, I can still do a what do they call it? A gravity drop, where you can just drop it and hopefully have the thing fetch up before you go around. So yeah, it's kind of a safety issue, and it never sits with me right when I know that, we can keep raising it by hand, but it's not right. And not only that, it's a great windlass on a great boat. It's not the cheap ones that are out there. It's one of the most expensive ones you can get, because it's supposed to be really good and they're supposed to be bulletproof. And I don't think I did anything wrong for this. I think that this might be, I can't even imagine that the manufacturer puts this plug in, because like I say, there were threads in there. You would think there'd be a threaded plug, but this is just something that you pop in the hole. But anyway, I believe the problem's solved. I might make I really hope I don't make another video in 6 months from now saying, oh, problem's back, just got burnt up another $1,000. But I'm not going to get down, because right now we are underway. That's the last of the Pyrenees over there. We're underway from Spain. 100 miles more to go. All of this is France over here, but we're cutting across, and hopefully should be in Marseille. I believe it's Marseille. And I am feeling like $1 million. I am all that is man. I fixed everything. Well, I don't know about that, but at any rate, it feels so good. Right now we're cruising along. We got just enough wind. We're not making any speed records. I think we're doing about 5.5 knots with about 8 or 9 knots of wind. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we're making water. We're out, and look how beautiful this water is. If there's ever water to make, and not only are we making water and making it at a good clip. Let's see, what are we doing here? Oh yeah, 11, 12 gallons per hour. And I checked the parts per million thing, total dissolved solids, and we're at 345, which was, I think, the best I've ever done here. I really cleaned the filter really good the last time, not the filter, the membrane, and left the filters full of ionized water and all that. Maybe that helped out because it's producing, so that's great. Crystalita washed the boat down, and she just washed herself down. She said that since I sweat about 10 gallons of sweat today doing all this work, she says, once I get done with this video, I gotta go in there and take a shower and wash some of this nastiness off of me. But I just can't tell you how good it feels. It feels so good. I feel so accomplished to have a problem chased down the wrong direction, figured out before it was too late what the problem was, fixed it, and I think we're good. Fingers crossed. Time will tell. And remember I was saying that you have to kind of triage your problems. Some things you deal with, some things you don't. It was interesting that when we sailed from Ibiza to Valencia to pick up Kristen and Jim, we got beat up pretty hard in that. And then the lights, only the 12 volt lights on the side of the boat, they went out. And I'm like, I've been up for 36 hours or whatever. They're coming, and I'm like, look, you guys, the fan works in your room and the other light works in your room, but the light on this side of your room doesn't work. I'll fix it. I just need to go to bed now. Well, anyway, I jumped in the hole and found a loose wire, and everything worked. I didn't fix it correctly because we were entertaining. Like I say, before you have to change everything out and do all this and do it the right way. I didn't want to do that while we had guests aboard. And so during all of this fiasco, it's really hot and the fan wasn't working because the fan takes power off of that too. So I went in there and fixed that too and did it the right way. And so, all is well. I got one more thing I got to do. I got to remember my $500 tri-color light and put the new one up there, and the anchor light still doesn't work because I think there's no power. Remember, there's two positives and one negative, and positive and negative light the running lights. The other positive and same negative run the anchor light, and the two positives together run the strobe light. Well, the strobe light and the anchor light aren't working, so thus we're not getting power on that third leg or second positive. And there can only be one place for that. That's got to be the connection between the mast, where the mast, all the wires come out in a big knot down there. So I'll have to go down there and figure that out. Once again, not the biggest deal. We'll worry about that every time we've gone to anchor. I had a little Coleman light that the Irish lads on Walk Away from the Three Sheets to the Wind channel. They gave me this rechargeable light to use because they're awesome guys, and they also gave me a masthead anchor light. I'm not going to put it on the mast because I have one up there, but I put it on top of the boom, and oddly enough, I can't find anything in any of the CFRs saying anything about the height of the anchor light. You have to have a white light, but I don't think they don't say that you have to have it at the top of the mast. We like to have an anchor light at the top of the mast so it's seen by everybody and it doesn't affect us down here. But anyway, I just put it on the boom and run a light to the distribution panel, run a wire to the distribution panel. So we've got a way of dealing with that, but that's not right yet. But that's the next thing. But right now, all is good in the universe. Very happy. I just drank about 3 gallons of water. And like I say, now I'm going to hop in the shower. We finished the paella that we couldn't finish last night. It actually is better the next day. Ooh. And you know something? Dominican food, it's not always my favorite. I mean, there's great Dominican food. I'm just saying that, I'm not hankering for anything, but they do something really cool. The Dominicans do this. When they serve rice all the time, but they'll have a big bowl of white rice and then a small roll of what they call con, which is they burn the rice on the bottom of the pan and scrape it off into like sheets and just, oh, I love that. Well, anyway, I would have just reheated in the microwave our leftover paella. But Crystalita put it in a frying pan, warmed it right up, and also made con by frying on the bottom of the pan. It was wonderful. So belly full, everything's good. You guys, thank you so much for watching. sorry about the you guys having to deal with me being so depressed that everything was breaking on the boat. But got things turning around. Things are looking up. Oh, and if anyone was wondering, I went to the police to see if I could check out of Spain, and they're like, "What? No, I don't know what you're talking about, but if you're worried about it, go ask the captain of the port." So I said, all right. So I took all my passports and insurance and documentation for the vessel, took all that down to the captain of the port. I go in there, and they're like, "Hey, what can we do for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm looking for exit papers, or do you need to stamp passports or anything?" She goes, "Why?" And I said, "Well, because I'm an American and an American boat, and we're leaving Spain going to France." She goes, "Oh, you got great weather for it. Go ahead. Is there anything we can do for you?" I said, "Do I need exit papers?" They're like, "No, just go. Enjoy." So they said, "We'll be here welcoming you back." So they were so sweet. But we'll see what happens. Donald Flynn had suggested that I should take a picture with the officials that said that I was all set. I wanted to do that, but it didn't organically happen. So we still could have a problem when we get to France. I don't know, especially because we don't even speak the language or anything like that. But at least I feel better because the captain of the port, the police, and the guy at the fuel dock, everyone gets fuel here because it's cheaper than it is in France because the taxes are less. So I said to him, I said, "Yeah, there's no papeles de salida," which, exit papers. And he's like, no, you just go. Everything's fine. So, all right. 3 people said I'm good. 2 of them were official, so looking good. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Love it if you guys, hey, look, if you're not subscribed, if you have a YouTube account, it doesn't cost you anything. Subscribe. It really helps me. We're getting really close to 10,000, and it's still about 10% of what my tugboat channel used to be, but it's fun to see this channel taking off. And if you could really do me a solid, hit subscribe. If you already subscribed, thank you so much. You can still hit the like, and that's awesome. And special thanks to all the patrons out there. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to join Patreon. But just love having you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Take care. Be safe. And as always, I'll see you on the one.